running a 15-minute chart on the fly and just drawing trend lines and just training myself to identify the tops and bottoms. And if I would have the confidence in my system to be long during this color and short during this blue thing. And I guess here you can't really do it too much there. On these pivots, I like the pivot entry. Here's a, I guess you're just holding, running a trailing stop. But yeah, there was some structure earlier that I built these trend lines off of. I guess from the big picture, this 15-minute chart zoomed out. This is a monster pivot here because this is where we came through the floor. So depending on how much you want to run, how complicated you want to get, which, delete all this stuff here. This is kind of an, I don't know, 15-minute chart I think is just a real bargain. You know, you don't have to make too many decisions. When you get a pullback like this, if it comes back into a place that you might have had an order there, had you had the foresight to pay attention to this, what's going on here. And I guess you got the green light if you're the trend indication aspect of this system, which is a lagged, a smoothed out, I think this may be 5-period or 3-period smoothed out candle. Okay, here with the climax right there. So that was a big take profit, and right at the end of that 15-minute session, you can see it pop back. Now here's the next challenge. This double top here, next place to get out or go short. Get out, take a profit, kind of a nice high probability retest of this. Okay, the seller is probably maybe coming in here thinking, okay, right about there they come in. So now you'd be getting out. This spread's ridiculously wide because it's taking Friday's close, which is about 5 pips. Okay, now that would be a lot of people are saying, I'm out of my winners, and some people are going, wow, finally I can sell this thing. I haven't really created enough history here to, let me just speed it up one notch. I think the 32 max out. Now this you got to pay attention. So now, yeah, but this is like compressed living, you know, playing this thing back. Here's your channel. What would you do? You make the call. I think that's what it's really great for, you know. And so you get a chance here to get some of the 15. You got enough things you can base a. Now if you double click this and hold down the control key, drag that up. There's a nice way to create a stairway of possible. So you have to put this under the last known bottom. And then you could see this top here. If you wanted to still get on the long train, you missed out on this move. You can always put buy limits right here because we could possibly smash back to that in the next 40 bars, whatever that is. And you want to be in there at that price because you missed out on this. Or you sold up into this and you just scalped that. So there's a million trades in there. But I think if you have the buy pendings here, of course, you could smash all the way back through that and take out this trend line. That's happened before. So as long as you're running money management, that's 3-to-1. So if you only write, say, 60 or 70% of the time, you're making good money. Okay, that was a good fill there. How we got in there, right? At least for a scalp to this double bottom. You know, it's kind of fast and furious here. If I zoom in, I've already created the channel. If it's a particular rate that you want to make money at, I guess like what you're going to do is, if you create your own entry windows, you would want to drag this trend line that you decided this is the pace at which you are looking for setups in your pullbacks. So this here, this double, so we just got this double bottom, and you're off this double top, so you just are scalping that. Now you just bought there on a pending or at the market had you be there, and now you're going to take this and double click, hold down the control key, drag that up, and now you're looking for the next possible hurdle or either reversal point, because you want to get in when it's doing this. Now this is your fourth chance to get on the train here. The market's continually giving you these another chance to get in. And so, but wait, you also get, and then this is really the quintessential pattern here, is the double bottom becomes this, and you're just in this beautiful, just the most gorgeous entry window on the planet, right? And then here, you see cashing out there, or you're going slightly short for a scalp here. But you already laid those out because you know that that top existed. You got a scalp cluster up in here, and maybe a trend, maybe a breakout order, right? Well, because if it gets quiet here in a narrow zone, okay, now you're dropping, say, buy stops with some buy limits. You're saying that as long as this color is running, you're pulling the long key. Whether it's on stops or limits, it doesn't matter. So if you're going to trade that strategy on the 15, I can see this as a viable. This is probably a lag of 3 or 5. And of course, there's no lag on the white. The white's always the white's always a structure entry point where tops become bottoms and bottoms become tops. If you pull the trigger here or you have a pending sitting, you already know this exists. And this is an hour and a half later, you're getting filled there with a tight stop. So I guess a rule set for this would be, if it's this color, look for a top becoming a bottom. This is kind of it overshot the runway. It became deeper in. But you're always looking for that setup. Okay, we're retesting this again. So there was another chance to go short. Here's where your buy orders are sitting now. Looks like they might crush it all the way back to here now. So you have to be prepared for the fact that they might want to, this void here may be too big for the market to withstand, and it's going to want to fill this hole. But see, this top became a bottom. You scalped off of that. You have to. You have to keep replacing orders because it's going to retest. It's going to revisit. And say you had someone here that's going to get out here, of course. Yeah, you can see now this is another moment of truth. Big fork in the road here. Do we go down? We've trapped these guys thinking, yeah, it's going to keep going up. It's crazy. I got a great deal back there. And now it's like, oh, you thought that was a good price. Wait till you see us run it down. See, here's the crush. This is what typically happens. And it'll maybe even take out this low. This could be a news event. So now, big punishment. Well, just now it's one of those things where we could come all the way down here. This is still a big deal, this price. So you could have a cluster, and this is still a big deal. Well, look how we didn't make it to this window, but if you could withstand the plunge into that void it wanted to fill, okay, maybe people are getting the short train. Not me. I'm kind of like, I like to get in where it's, say I got a buy limit down here. High probability that we bounce up into this, and you're a couple beats ahead of the market. Or I want to have sell limit here, so that when this bottom becomes a new top, I got a pending sitting there to fill. Or I bought this, I put a lot of weight on this quadruple bottom with a, you can see this little zigzag guy here, kind of hard to see. Since this is double bottom here, and here's the top become a bottom. This is a real ripe price area. Okay, now you're getting this beautiful, like you would get here. Okay, narrow, quiet. Here's a low probability setup forming. And it itching to break this trend line, but at the same time, That's the seller's channel top. They're selling at this point. Okay, this looks like a breakout, possible fake out. Okay, now, okay, so if you didn't have, if you missed that move, you can still go long. Still go long. Let me just go after this. Still go along by saying that this triple top here, or this quadruple top here, is the place to place the buy limits for the next session. Because if you buy right here, you're asking for a lot of follow through. And after a run like this, I compress that. That's probably about a 2-hour run, maybe 8 15-minute bars. Okay, now here's where a bunch of sellers would have their pendings at this double top. There's a baby double top there. Okay, so they just scalp back into this. But this is always serving as a monster support. So as time unfolds, you're building this house of support structure and resistance. And these windows will always be available in the future. Okay, here's the big breakout. See, but they trapped these guys. So anybody that traded this breakout fractal, they're like, ugh, what did I do that for? Like, why wouldn't I have my buy limit down here? Right? So where was the best entry? If you're a stop entry guy on this fractal, you might tell me after this blows out the top, look what I made. But yeah, how tight was your stop? Did they rip it back and snatch it all away from you? So that is the whole problem. How do you get in these markets? If you trade on a stop entry, I understand it's a disciplined situation, but this top becoming a bottom here is a, dare I say, more better entry because, well, if you're going to get on the long train or if you're going to scalp. Because this breakout here on the 15, it's kind of dicey. Now, I wouldn't mind this breakout when the market's quiet. But when the market's loud, like this, and you're getting in on a breakout, be prepared to suffer because you're getting the worst price in the world. And they're just nicking into your order and coming back and stopping you out and trouncing you. And you're telling yourself, I'm being a disciplined trader. But they're killing you on the 15. Now, maybe on the 4-hour, super wide stop, right? Big structural, crush down or explosion, whatever it is. And now, but see, look how this is always flirting with taking out this. I would rather be thinking in terms of, I got buy limits down here. If they do come down there, high probability bounce off that. Or I would say, as this starts to quiet down and narrow up, and this trend line is a triple top now. So I guess you could have if you really wanted to buy and buy stop on a major time frame breakout up here, say, right? But then you got to consider your stop's got to be down here. I mean, it kind of has to be down here because you need to be able to withstand this pullback that's going on right now. Okay, so you got double bottom and you're inside this vacuum area that they finally got to resolve. May have to still come down to here. But anytime you see these kind of voids forming, always looking for it to renegotiate that price and just see if they can get a... Now here's the triple bottom inside of the vacuum chamber that they filled. Okay, now it's got... maybe it's got to come down to here to pick up enough orders to... it's not like a conspiracy. It's not like they're trying to get everybody to sell into that so they can go back the other way. It's just kind of an order imbalance situation where we don't really know what's going to be the most popular, whatever the crowd seeks out as being the most popular thing to do. But once everybody's onto the trend, then you're waiting for the saturation point and the point at which everybody turns their back on it, you know. So here was the big breakout. Okay, you finally did it. You trapped these guys. Now, can these guys got to put a stop in down here, right? But that's the problem. See, now watch them just go crush them. I mean, if you're trading this from a how you think you should trade it, I'm just getting obliterated. Look at it. They grabbed you here, and you have a stop here, and you just think, oh, I hope they didn't hit my stop. I mean, trading is so hard.